Ladies and gentlemen, happy holidays. Please join me in welcoming your host for today, Mr. Mark Cordes.
But the gang didn't say hello.
Thank you, mic on. Thank you very much. Hey, it's great to be here. It's December's Christmas edition of Mesa Morning Live. All right, great. Thanks for being here, and thanks for watching at home, those of you that are watching out on Channel 11. And by the way, you should be down here. We do this every month, so come on in and see a Mesa Morning Live in person. Well, it's been a while since we've had live music, so let's get this started off on the right foot. Please welcome our musical guest and our special guest later on. You're going to hear a lot more from him. Please welcome Mr. Blaine Long.
Hey, thank you very much. Play what?
Yeah, play a little bit here.
All right. Can't stop the day I'm feeling bad. Take my own advice and just be glad. Got my cool state and looking real rude. It's all there in my attitude. Well, I come get it. No, it's not enough. Running out of cash, not out of luck. And memories taste sweet and feeling fine. I'm a traveler of both space and time. Don't change the locks, I'm coming back for you. Like a full-time job, just staying true. Red heart in my life. It sounds so good, I had to sing it twice. I sing it twice. Well, now give me just a little bit and I don't need a lot. Open up your heart and show me what you got. If the sugar tastes sweet, coffee in the pot, now give me just a little bit. It's all black magic, can't you see? The way my heart pumps the blood inside of me. I thought about the changes and it changed my mind. Who says it happens all the time? Well, I'm coming on strong, just thinking of you like my mama told me to. Yeah, don't turn your back and don't be unkind. Destroy yourself in your own time. Honest. Well, it works so hard to hardly be. And my black heart in my life sounds so good I had to sing it twice. Sing it twice. Well, now give me just a little bit and I don't need a lot. Open up your heart, show me what you got. If the sugar tastes sweet, coffee in the pot, now give me just a little bit. How the rain cloud rolls over my shoulder, hey, the sky turns gray. Now the rain cloud rolls over my shoulder, the sky turns gray. I can't stop it, I can't stop it, I can't stop it, Lord, Lord. Well, now I need the color from the good thoughts, need the color from the brave ones. I need the color from your mood ring. I need the color from the color. Need the color that the girls sing. Need the color from my guitar. Need the color from a gold star. You know, everybody gets a gold star. I stand right next to you, feeling like the color sad blue. Easy on the eyes and all the old fears. Think of the days, weeks, and years. Come get it, no, it's not enough. Running out of cash, not out of luck. Memories taste sweet and feeling fine. Sounds so good, I had to sing it twice. Sing it twice. Well, now give me just a little bit and I don't need a lot. Open up your heart, show me what you got. If the sugar tastes sweet, coffee in the pot, give me just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
So,
That's Mr. Blaine Long giving us a little bit. Thanks for kicking this off. We're going to hear more from Blaine later. And for those of you that don't recognize, or might recognize him and you don't know where from, The Voice, season 11, right there. So he went from your TV screen to Mesa Morning Live, and we'll be, thanks, Blaine. Man, imagine sounding that good anytime, much less 7:30 in the morning. That's awesome. Well, he's going to be with us and play our guest on and off. We'll talk more with Blaine in a little while. I'd just like to thank our behind-the-scenes sponsors today. That includes Alpha Graphics, Gateway Bank, Yvonne Martinez Photography, always running around doing a great job on all the photos, Cobblestone Auto Spa, and International Minute Press. Breakfast today, how good were those burritos? They came from What the Hell Bar and Grill. That's right. You should have heard the names that didn't make it. We'll talk about those when the cameras are off. Don't forget to, on your way out, pick up some bags. We've got some goodies in there from representatives of a lot of businesses here at the Mesa Chamber. If you'd like to have your business represented in the bags, stop at the desk back there and talk to anybody from the chamber staff and talk about how you can be a part of that. I haven't mentioned it yet, but now would be a great time. Silence your cell phones. You don't have to turn them off. You can take photos, but just turn them as a courtesy to those on stage and those around you. If your phone does go off, we'll consider that a $20 donation to the United Food Bank. So you got off easy. Yeah, he said he was setting an example. That was, so only $10 for the example. That's awesome. Well, let's kick this off. We got a full slate today. Our first guest, this month's show is sponsored by the fine folks at Wells Fargo Bank. Let's welcome District Manager and Mesa Chamber Board member, Mr. Justin Martz. Justin, come on up. Good morning, Justin. Good to have you.
Pony.
You did bring us a pony.
Mike.
The pony's name is Mike?
The pony's name is Mike, yeah.
Because it's next to the mic?
No, it's actually, all of our ponies are based on historical ponies that were used in Wells Fargo. So the little story about Mike is right inside here.
Oh, well, there you go. I had no idea. I'll put him on the mic stand.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I'm sure they'll love it, the audio
That's
people.
awesome. Now, what are we going to do with? Are you donating this?
That's
to
for
me?
you, yeah.
Well, we're going to give this away somehow. We'll do something creative with this, but give myself 45 minutes to come up with something fun.
Very good.
Welcome to Mesa Morning Live. Tell us what's going on at Wells Fargo Bank, and I know Wells Fargo is not just a place to go cash checks anymore. What are people doing there?
Sure, I'll tell you a little bit about it. As you might know, Wells Fargo has been around since 1852. And locally in Arizona since 1858. So we've been here a long time as a household name, helping individuals succeed financially. Actually, our vision is to help people succeed financially, which is both external, focused on others, and positive. We want to make a positive difference in people's lives. And since then, in Arizona, we're currently the 4th largest employer in the state of Arizona with almost 17,000 team members. And we continue to expand and grow here, which is really exciting to be a big part of what we're doing.
That's awesome. I know there's some initiatives that are going on with Wells Fargo. Tell us a little bit about those.
Yeah. First of all, I'll say that corporate citizenship is a big part of our vision. We want to be involved in the communities where we work, where we live, where we serve. So with that being said, last year in 2018, we've given back in Arizona over $8 million to the community. And then as individuals, over about $3 million back to the community. So our team members give back in their local nonprofits and things like that. In the city of Mesa last year, we gave over $250,000 back to our local nonprofits, including New Leaf, Mesa United Way, one of my personal favorites, the Mesa Art Center, where I'm the chair of the board of the foundation there as well. And we love to help locally and really give back to make a big difference where we're at. One of the other initiatives that we really are focusing on right now is around veteran hiring. So if you are a veteran or you know any veterans, we're doing a lot of things. Our goal is to hire 20,000 by 2020, within 2020. We're not quite there yet, so we need as much help as we can get. But we have really cool internship programs and apprenticeship programs that are geared to help them bring their skill sets that they've learned in the military into the bank. As a matter of fact, in November, the region I'm in, we did a veteran breakfast to recognize the veterans that are already working in the in the branches.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, tell us a little bit about yourself personally. Where are you from originally?
Oh, I'm originally from a little town outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, called Mount Pleasant. So go Steelers, if you're a Steelers fan. Hopefully they make the playoffs.
You're a weak-legged on that.
That's right.
Mount Pleasant, that was a profile quite often at the Andy Griffith show. if
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not
right.
mistaken. Yeah, that's no idea. And I Googled you and found out a little, no, not really,
Okay.
but I read this. You're an ordained pastor.
Yeah, I am, yeah. I actually went to school originally to be a pastor, doing a bachelor's, and I went to graduate school, a couple masters in theology, and then started at Wells Fargo as a part-time teller in graduate school. And what I fell in love with is the practical impact that banking has in people's lives. So if we do our jobs well, we can help somebody with whatever you're working on right now financially to achieve a goal. And then whatever the next one is and the next one is, and we can walk people down life together. It's really fun.
Well, I know you guys are very committed with your corporate vision to helping people. Here's just an idea. I'm just spitballing this.
Sure.
I was following I pulled out of a Wells Fargo branch not long ago, and I was following an armored truck, and had those doors opened.
Yeah.
And a bunch of bags of cash falling out. You really could have helped a lot of us.
Helped a lot of people. Yeah, especially you, since you
Especially
were right
me,
there.
I followed that truck for like 6 hours.
I'll pass it up. I'll throw it up and see what, you know.
Hey, you know what? This is a great gift. Thank you very much. And this is a beautiful, very well made. What do you think this is worth? 25 bucks?
Oh,
30 bucks?
2,500.
2,500?
No, yeah, maybe 20, 25. Maybe the price of if a phone goes off.
Well, let's do this. The first hand I see raise their hand for 20 that's willing to buy this for a grandchild for 25 bucks for Christmas, we'll donate it to the food bank. Anybody got a
There
boom
we
right
go.
there?
Nice,
Keith,
thank you.
Keith from Market Builder International right there, MBI, one of our
That's
great
awesome.
members.
Yeah.
Keith, that's for you afterwards. Thank you so much for
You're
coming
welcome.
out.
I appreciate the time.
You bet. Thanks for all you do at Wells Fargo.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Thanks. Take care. Welcome. That's Justin March. Thank you, Justin, for being here. Let's move along to our next segment. Every month we like to showcase a segment that we call our mystery guest. And how do you get to be the mystery guest? You encourage people that have not been to Mesa Morning Live to come, and whoever brings the most gets to be our guest. The winner of that today, if this can be considered winning, sitting next to me, I'm not sure. But today's mystery guest is Copa Health, and as their spokesperson, please help me welcome Dr. Shar Najafi Piper. Dr. Shar, come on up. Welcome to Mesa Morning Live. Nice to have you here.
I don't have a gift for you.
You don't have no gifts?
No. Thanks, Norm.
Okay, well, thanks. Well, hey, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
No, I'm just kidding.
They told me I could sit here for about 5 minutes.
You can sit there for 5 minutes. The next 4.5 minutes is yours. What would you
Thank
like
you.
to tell us about
Thank you so much.
Copa Health?
So I am the new CEO for Copa Health, powered by Mark Community Resources and Partners in Recovery. We have a rich history within our organization. We started in 1957 as Mark Community Resources, providing housing. We actually started delivering services to kids, but then now have segued into housing, employment-related services. We have behavioral health programs, and we really have a broad reach from where we started. On one side of the house, we have housing programs for both those with medical and behavioral health challenges in addition to developmental disabilities. We have employment-related services as a clinician, which I'm extremely proud of, which is a program that really gives back to individuals that want to go back into the workforce. And for those members that have ever had any type of distressing ailments or mental health conditions, it's been really challenging for some to get back into the workforce. We help with coaching, we help with job placement, we help with work-life activities, we help with resume building. So it's a really unique service that we provide to those that we serve. We also have your traditional outpatient programs where we provide both behavioral and medical services to members with serious mental illness, in addition to now general mental health and soon to be kids as well.
Well, that's awesome. What a,
Yeah.
what
A big continuum of care.
That's a big umbrella you're under there. What's the background of Copa Health in the Valley? How long have you guys been around?
So Mark Community Resources started in 1957.
57, okay, wow.
And then we acquired another company called Partners in Recovery 2 years ago. And now we're Copa Health. We're in the process of a full rebranding, which, you know, for any of you who've done rebranding, that's why we're here. We want to make sure that we let the community know we are proud of who we've been, but we are going to be moving forward and just scaling and soaring in the next couple of years, really making sure that we take the best of the best from our history and moving into the next phase of healthcare.
That's great. Well, what's your background in this industry?
So I'm a licensed psychologist by training. Unlike most of my colleagues who went into private practice or did hospital work, one of my first training rotations was in a community mental health center, and that's where I met a little girl who was in a foster home, and she and I connected, and I said, this is my place, this is where I want to spend the rest of my career. So I've been in community mental health arena for the last 20 plus years. It's wonderful to give back to Mesa. I'm originally from Mesa.
Wow.
I am born here, went back to Iran, where my parents are from, and then we came back to Mesa. And so it's nice. Go Arizona State. I went to ASU. And it's good to give back to this community, and
See a lot
happy
of
to be
forks
here.
up there. There we go.
Yeah.
We also have some U of A people here too.
Well, my condolences.
Okay. It's all right. Not everybody can
Okay.
get into ASU. You have to have other. You have to have a plan B. I'm not even from here. What am I doing? Well, that's awesome, and just buried myself there. What would you like if you had a commercial, which you kind of do? You've got a lot of people sitting home watching this. What would you like to say? What's the best thing you offer?
You know, we have been known in the Valley for providing care to those with complex needs. And we want to be known for not just providing complex needs, but making sure that we're individualized, we're person-centered, and we give back to the community in a way that no other organization can, by providing that full continuum of care. So whether your loved one or a friend or family member has an intellectual or developmental disability, a mental health condition, or a medical condition, we are able to provide services for you in a way that really makes us world-class. That is our new purpose statement, where we want to inspire health, hope, and happiness by delivering world-class solutions to our individuals, members, family members, and community at large.
That's great. What's the best way for people to get a hold of you if they?
copahealth.org, and Norm will be more than happy to go ahead and provide all of the information and gifts, because
Norm?
right, Norm?
Hey,
We are going to be providing a lot of information, just PR-wise, on our website and in other arenas as well, so that everybody really understands the full arena of the programs that we provide.
watch this. Hey, for $25, who would like to have Norm take you to lunch? Right here. Sally, you want to? Okay, Norm. Sally will donate $25. You got to take her to lunch.
Are you sure you don't want me to go instead?
Does not include happy hour.
So Mark, we actually run a restaurant out of Leisure World, so Sally, you and I go to Monday Cafe out of Leisure World, run by Copa Health.
That's right, that's right.
See, we got it all covered.
That's
Well,
right.
thank you very much for being here.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your mission
Thank
statement.
you.
I know
Thank
there's a lot of people out there that are going to use and need your services, and thanks for being here
We're
today.
here for them. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Merry Christmas.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Please send her off with a big round of applause. Dr. Sharn Jaffe Piper. All right, our next segment is the Community Spotlight. Please help me welcome the commanding officer, this gentleman in fine regalia here, the commanding officer of the Mesa Citadel Corps of the Salvation Army, Mr. Scott Ramsey. Scott, welcome, sir.
Thank you so much.
Well, it is great to have you here. It's
Thank
that
you.
time of year, isn't it?
It is.
Why don't
Has
you-
been.
Why don't you tell us what's going on? Yeah, it's just not a seasonal thing, what you guys do.
No. No, year-round services here in Mesa, but at Christmas we are well known for our bell ringing. 129th year of bell ringing. Started on the San Francisco docks. Captain there wanted to provide a Christmas meal and didn't have the money to do that. Put a pot, keep the pot boiling, and that provided the funds, and that started this tradition that is now 129 years here at the Salvation Army. Mesa, we will use the funds to keep our programs going through the year, but also, well, starting on Thanksgiving Day, we serve 1,700 meals on Thanksgiving Day, and it will carry us all the way through. We will help more than 1,000 local families with Christmas toys, food for the holidays.
That is awesome. And that's what this is the well-known bucket.
Yes,
right here.
the famous bucket and the silver bell, and actually yours is white, but that's all right.
That's awesome. And, you know, it's probably time we let him out. Come on out. Mike Picard is in here. Been in there for too long. Mike, hang in there. Well, tell us what we can do to help.
Well, a lot of ways to help in the Salvation Army. We do rely a lot on volunteers. We have our regular programs. We have a senior nutrition program. We have an after-school program, low-income children. I guess all children are low-income, children from low-income families. We have our food bank that operates each and every day. But at Christmas time, a lot of different activities happening. We really are trying to push more and more, and we find that anybody that ever is able to do it, enjoys it, to volunteer ringing our bell. To be able to be part of the tradition, to be able to be out in the community, to greet the community and just be a part of ringing the bell. And we're at 50 locations in Mesa, raise an awful lot of funds, and just the opportunity to be able to do that. We have service clubs that have traditionally done it. We've had other groups, but we're trying to even open it up more and more to just individuals. A couple friends you could cover a day, 8-hour shift at you pick the location, you pick the day, we provide the apron, we provide the kettle, we provide the bell.
That's awesome. What? All right, I got to ask you this. You're a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I shouldn't have put that, but that's all right. High school Hall of Famer, 100 pounds and 38 years ago, yes.
Hall of Famer doing what?
It was for, it's the Aptos High School. Actually, though, claim to fame, Trent Dilfer is also a Hall of Famer at that same high school. Aptos High School, I was a quarterback on the football team, pitcher for the baseball team.
And where was that?
Aptos, California. It is in Santa Cruz County, about 90 miles south of San Francisco.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, good for you. Hey, we don't get a lot of Hall of Famers up here. You gotta.
Probably don't have one now either, but that's all right.
Well, that's awesome. Can you share the history of the bell ringing? Is that, you mentioned on the San Francisco dock, is that kind of how it all started?
That is, it's more of a Western phenomenon. I don't know that it's done. Salvation Army is in 139 countries. I don't know that if you go to Africa, you're going to find the bell. Canada, Australia, America, that would. It just became part of Christmas. It was just to provide at Christmas time, and the idea of being able to help the community. One of my commanders years ago, it is the opportunity. We get a lot of donors. We have regular supporters that through the mail and that will send the check in, but this gives the general public the opportunity to be able to, just with their change or a few dollars, to be able to support those in need in the community. So it's direct. All the money is raised in a community, stays in the community. So we are raising for Mesa. There's the Salvation Army in Tempe. They're raising in Tempe. Chandler, they're raising in Chandler, but all the funds. And nowadays, it is interesting that, well, no one carries cash anymore. How much do you think we would raise in our 50 kettles here in Mesa? I always like to ask.
I mean, in a day or a season?
No, in the season.
50 kettles.
About 26 days.
Okay, I'm going to go with $100,000.
250.
Boom.
Yeah, 250,000. It is a large part, obviously, of our budget, and it not only sustains us at Christmas time, it really does help provide funding for most of the rest of the year for us.
Wow, that's
It's a lot of change that goes through.
yeah. You know, I'm going to guess this was a good thing for the Salvation Army. A couple of years ago, I remember when Ezekiel Elliott from the Dallas Cowboys scored a touchdown,
Yes.
and he went into the end zone and he jumped in that big Salvation Army.
Jerry Jones is
Bucket.
the National Advisory Board member, has supported the Salvation Army for many years. They had the halftime show, I think it's like the 28th year. Reba McEntire was the first one. She composed a song for the halftime show, and that started. So now every Thanksgiving Day, the Salvation Army is featured at Cowboy Stadium.
Wow.
Well, which is AT&T Stadium now, I guess.
You know what you might want to think about? You ought to put one of those giant buckets by the Cardinals end zone, and if they ever score a touchdown.
They'll turn
Really?
on you.
You're gonna boo me?
They're going to turn on you.
Check the standings and get back to me on that. No, that's awesome. Well, what you guys do is a great thing. And boy, talk about you're talking about branding, Dr. Shard. This is how you brand right here. Everybody recognizes the bucket. Everybody recognizes the bell ringing. And keep up the good work.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Big round of applause for the Hall of Famer. Thanks, Mr. Scott Ramsey. Appreciate you being here. Normally we would jump right into a top 10 or our trivia little contest that we do, but we got so much on our plate today that we're going to set the stage here for our next guest. While we do that, let me talk to my special guest once again, Mr. Blaine Long. Blaine, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from originally? Are you Arizonan?
Tempe since, third grade? Yeah.
Is that right?
Tempe boy, yeah.
Yeah, well, good to have you here. And,
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And when you're over here, we'll talk more about the experience on the Voice.
Yes.
Had to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Nerve-wracking.
Yes, absolutely, yes. 100%, yeah.
That's awesome. Hey, where can people hear you live, and where can people buy your music?
Oh, that's a good question. BlaineLong.com. Everything's up on Pandora, Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, all that digital stuff. Anywhere around town. I'm everywhere. You just find me online, and you can't get rid of me. I'm everywhere. I'm everywhere.
That's awesome. And you play Valley-wide?
Yeah, Prescott, Tucson,
Yeah.
Tempe,
you gotta go where the
Mesa,
gigs are. Yeah,
Scottsdale. I work.
Yeah, you got to work. And thanks for getting up early and coming. I know it's
Absolutely.
Hard, it's hard to roll out of bed and throw on the guitar and sing and sound good at 7:30. But man, you nailed it.
Oh,
you got another little. We ready to go? All right. Well, we'll get to you over here later. We want another song out of you before we come over.
You got it.
So let's talk a little bit about our next segment. In October, Green Flag Mesa hosted the first ever 24-hour business plan challenge. Mesa Community College students were given a list of requirements and challenges to create a business plan for their own business, and they had to come up with this whole idea in 24 hours. Today we're going to announce the winner of the challenge, and I'd like to welcome up the director of Green Flag Mesa, Dan Piercy, and the finalist from this year's event. Dan, come on up here. Welcome, sir.
Good morning.
Good to have you here on Mesa Morning Live.
Thank you.
As your students come over, maybe you can introduce everybody.
Jessica McAllister, Ashley Waters, Andrew Chappell, and Kevin Frost.
There you go. There's your finalists. Big round of applause. You've got microphones, and if you don't, you can share one. Why don't we start here next to Dan and tell us a little bit. You can introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about what your business is.
So my name is Jessica McAllister. The business plan I came up with was a fashion house, I guess. In the last year or so, it's become more important to me to present myself the way I want to, and I work in a business environment. And well, looking at a lot of you, it's pretty obvious that if you want to work in an office, everybody kind of gets the same choices. I mean, you get the collared shirt, and you get to pick a color, and then you get to wear a jacket or not, and the slacks and whatever. I guess I want the opportunity to make a way that I can walk into any business office and still present who I am, and the office is going to be okay with that, and I'm going to be happy because I get to be who I am all the time.
Awesome. Well put. Next.
I'm Ashley Waters, and I want to open up my own bridal shop. My shop would be different from everybody else because I would extend the service to, I guess you could say, lighten the burden, lighten the load of past brides and they could sell their wedding dress to me, and that way I can reuse those dresses and rent them out to women who are not able to, buy a brand new dress, of $1,000 or whatever, be able to provide that service to help women of lower income feel beautiful and still be able to afford a dress for their special day.
Beautiful. Like it.
Hi, everyone. I'm Andrew Chappell, and the product I'm developing is a product that makes jump-starting your car easier than it's ever been.
And that's all I'm going to say about it.
I like it.
Me too, me too. Good morning, everyone. My name is Kevin Frost. My business is currently up and running. The business name is Standing 360. So it's a little bit more like a digital marketing agency, but if anyone's ever used Google Earth, you go down there and view the Earth as in person and looking all around. So I take 360 photography, and according to our presenter over here, if you ever Google yourself as a business, how you appear and what you look like, that's exactly what I do and what I change. So if anyone wants their business's digital real estate, I help claim that and make sure everything looks good online. So for people that are wanting to reinvent themselves online, I help do that and erase old businesses, so don't piss me off, and then also create new ones along the way. So that's Kevin. Yep.
Awesome.
Standing 360, where does your business stand?
All right, well, Dan, tell us a little bit about the history. Yeah, big round of applause for all of these folks. Tell us a little bit about the history of this event or how it all happened.
Well, we all know Bob Nelson. And Bob Nelson is kind of my mentor and assistant and helper and encourager and whatever you want to call him. And we were sitting discussing one day, and he said, we need to do something crazy. And I said, what do you have in mind? And he said, how about some kind of a 24-hour challenge? What's a 24-hour challenge? And so he explained his idea that we should do something where students came to Green Flag, spent 24 hours consistent, and we kicked it around and decided, well, what we really need are businesses, so business challenge would be a good idea. So we came up with 24-hour business plan challenge, pitched it to the students, and the students kind of liked it. They liked the idea of going and living at Green Flag for 24 hours. We got 8 contestants who finally registered and said, we'll do it. We had only 2. I'm going to recognize Jessica and Ashley, who were the only stalwarts that decided to come and stay for the entire night. Around 2 a.m., they looked a little bleary-eyed. They were wishing there was a cot or somewhere that they could lay down. But they stuck it out. Andrew came in first thing in the morning, and Kevin, he was a slacker. He decided to work from home, but he claims he stayed up all 24 hours.
Got to put those kids to bed, right?
But it was a lot of fun. It was a chance for them to work together, to communicate, to kind of share ideas, help each other. There was a lot of interaction. There was a lot of exchange of ideas, and here's a website you can go to. Here's a place you can do. We didn't want to give them too much help. I gave them some guidance and direction. We gave them a packet of information that they needed and basically told them, go for it. They literally had 24 hours from 6 o'clock Friday night till 6 o'clock Saturday night. And at 6 o'clock Saturday night, they had to turn in their finished business plans. And we gave those to a panel of judges and got the results.
That's awesome. Now, I know the winner's going to receive what? What's the grand prize?
Well, I don't know. I have to look. It's right here in my pocket.
We have no idea either, so.
They have no idea.
That's awesome. Well, I know. Well, then let's just announce the winner and what the winner wins.
I have right here in my hand the winner. It looks to me like the winner, Kevin Frost, wins $500.
All right, Kevin.
Go ahead. You can each touch this.
And look how honest. They all had it for a second, and they continued to pass it down. That is honesty. Congratulations, Kevin. Standing 360. That's very nicely done. And how about a big round of applause? Congratulations to all of the finalists right here. And thank you very much. Is this going to be an annual thing?
This will be an annual thing. We've got several different events that we're going to try to incorporate. Quick pitch for Green Flag. Green Flag is an opportunity for students to start businesses here in the Mesa area, rent-free. They can stay there for up to 2 years. We provide them with equipment and resources and supplies, so it takes the burden off them for having to come up with that initial startup capital. We are experimenting with Green Flag. We don't know exactly where we want it to go, but we're moving in the right direction, and we're always open to ideas and try to try new things. This is one of the new things we've tried.
That sounds awesome, and it looks like the first episode of this was great. So continued success to all of you. Check back in with us every now and then. Let us know how your business is going. Big round of applause, folks, for Mr. Dan Piercy. Thanks. Thanks, folks. Blaine, why don't you do this? Go ahead and play a song while you're there, and then join me over here. But I'm enjoying this, man. This is very, very nice. Right, take it away. Your choice.
Yeah. I was gonna do a slower song, but I'll do a slightly not as slow song. Tune up. Good job. Good job. This guitar is not happy. So we'll do a song called Bacon. Oh. It's in the burritos. Didn't break it. Well, now she took a big bite, said it tastes like bacon. Ah, now her lips like Presley, moves like Elvis. Yeah, you forget about your heart when she shakes her pelvis. Hey. Oh, we got nights to dream and wings to fly. Still young, but not tonight. Wouldn't have it any other way. We got gravy boats and mortgage payments. It's been so long since I've seen the rain. It's where I'll be when I die. When I die. When I die. Yeah, so I rolled on Liberty Highway. And now with just one puff, you can see things my way. Ah, now here we go now when you're wishful forgotten. Yeah. Brother, you don't know her now and you didn't know her back then. Back then. Oh, we got nights to dream and wings to fly. We're still young, but not tonight. Wouldn't have it any other way. We got gravy boats and mortgage payments. It's been so long since I've seen the rain. Where I'll be when I die. When I die. Yeah. When I die, yeah, so I drove off the little bitty deep end. Oh, shucks. Wishful thinking, looking for a good friend. grateful, I'm grieving. You've been so kind, so kind. Well, we got nights to dream and wings to fly. We're still young, but not tonight. Wouldn't have it any other way. We got gravy boats and mortgage payments. Been so long since I've seen the rain. It's where I'll be when I die. When I die, yeah. When I die. Well, we got nights to dream and wings to fly. We're still young, but not tonight. Wouldn't have it any other way.
Wow. Let's play long. Man, if I could do that, I would just go to parties and play guitar. Just to annoy everybody more than I already do, if that's possible. Blaine, thanks for being here, man.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us who Blaine Long is, the history, how you got from there to right here on Mesa Morning Live.
Oh, dear Lord. I don't know, that's a lot. That's a lot. Tempe kid, I'll go as fast as I can without mumbling as much as I do. Tempe kid, moved here in like 84, 83 maybe. My dad was my godfather owned the batting cages. You guys ever remember that? Down on the river bottom there. The Cubs used to play there. So that was my godfather, Mr. Gill. So we kind of come back, we go back in the Tempe area. So that's where I'm from. I started playing music, that's all I've ever wanted to do. Do not have a high school diploma, did not go to college, do not have a GED. This is all I've ever wanted to do. And through certain events and my drive, at the same time, I landed where I'm at. But I've been playing full time for about 15, 16 years or so. But since I was 16, I've been playing in the bars and getting kicked out once I play, You played, now get out, you're too young,
That's awesome.
But yeah, just writing songs. That was my main goal.
Were the songs we heard today, were they your originals?
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah, that's the fun part for me, making stuff up.
Yeah, exactly. Otherwise, you're just doing karaoke.
Exactly. Yeah, and there's no rules. If you do karaoke, they know, hey, you didn't sing that right, or hey, why'd you do that?
Yeah.
Or so there's no rules. I don't want any rules.
That's awesome. Nobody can tell you missed the words.
That's right.
You wrote the words.
Yes.
And any song that's got bacon in it, I'm in.
And we're vegetarians in my house, yeah. Except for my son and myself, so we don't even cook bacon in the house. So my wife does not like that song. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
well, since you went that road, tell us about your family.
Yeah, beautiful wife, Joni. She's a speech therapist and also works for Rodana Fields. What else? My boy is Carson. My daughter is Oriana, and we adopted both of them at 3.5, and she is 12 now. We're going through it. And she
now
just
we know why he
12.
works in bars every night.
You have no idea, man. Maybe you do. I don't know. My boy just turned 10, and so he just turned 10, and she just turned 12, and we're in it. We're in it, man.
Well, as a veteran of that, let me tell you, the boys go through a little rough patch from about 10 to 30. So you only got 20.
I would agree with that. Right around 30, I kind of said, hey, what's going on?
Hey, wait
here?
a minute. Yeah, there's a world.
Maybe I should bathe and get some steady income. I don't know, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, tell us about our good friend, Grant Woods, our mutual friend.
Yes.
He somehow got involved with a music project, and boy, he should be your manager. He wanted to be, by the way, Grant, a former Attorney General for Arizona, wanted to be here this morning. We had a speaking engagement, but he said, oh my gosh, I'd love to be there. Blaine's the best. So tell us how that.
Grant.
Yeah, well, tell us about that music project.
Yeah, yes. Well, it was called The Projects. I had been recording records, since I could. I started working out of a studio called 3 Leaf. 3 Leaf was doing The Project, which was Grant Woods. Grant Woods writes great songs. He really does. I'd like to tear him apart because I'm grumpy, and that's what I do, but he writes really good songs.
But he can't sing them, but he can write them.
But here's the deal. I think he should. I've been trying to, I think he thinks I'm teasing him, but it's like, he should record the record. He sings as well as Chris Christopherson, which is one of his guys.
That's his idol, yeah.
Chris is not a great singer, but he's a great storyteller, which is the point. So Grant can do the same thing. Grant has a good voice.
Wow.
He can do it. So anyway, we worked on this project, and Grant wanted to include the community, so he got all the local singers. I can't even think right now. Myself, I was the last guy on the project. They had a song that nobody could really sit in the pocket, right? And I did a lot of talking. So I'm a talk singer. So they said, one of the engineers said, I got the guy for you. And then from there, I got on the record with Grant, and everybody was singing Grant songs, different famous singers in town, or not so famous. And through that process, singing on the project, Grant said, hey, let's talk. So we kind of talked up and said, let's do a record together. And so his record label, Bright Angel Records, did my record. And I did a couple of Grant songs on that record. And people like them more than my songs. Grant's he has some really, really good tunes. I think there's 4 of his songs on that record, and 2 of them are just amazing.
Wow.
Just amazing. So anyway, from there, we got on The Voice.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm rambling, forgive me. Yeah.
No. Tell us that whole process, because that's a nerve-wracking thing. Any kind of competition, because whether it's singing or comedy or whatever, it's so subjective. I mean, what somebody likes, the other person doesn't like. So it really takes a lot of nerve to try and do that. How did you get on there?
Yeah, well, through a friend of Grant's. One day we get a call saying, hey, for the project's record, we did it at the Orpheum. We released it at the Orpheum and put on a big show and raised all the money for ASA, Arizona School for the Arts, where my daughter now attends. Last month, she started there in the middle of the year. Also fun. And so from the Orpheum, a fella videotaped me playing my song, which was Grant's song. And I guess he liked it. He sent it to a producer friend of his, talked to Grant, said, I set up a meeting. Grant said, okay, let's go. So we went to this meeting with an English fellow, and I didn't really understand much of what he said. It was also very early in the morning. He had a very thick accent, and evidently, then next thing I know, I'm in California auditioning for The Voice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, who are the judges on The Voice your season?
Miley Cyrus, Alicia Keys, and then the 2 fellas, Blake and Adam Levine.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a bizarre cross-section of music that is.
The whole thing is crazy. It's lead singers are the worst people in the world. And that is the truth. I'm a songwriter, but lead singers are the worst. So it's a summer camp for lead singers. And it's just tons of egos everywhere. People were at the pool in fur coats in the summertime, in cowboy boots. I'm like just chilling at the, just really just characters, just with boas, and at all times they had costumes.
And remember, that's reality TV.
That was all real, exactly.
Yeah.
So it was a crazy thing, but yeah, nerve-wracking very much. So before I left, I went and I got a prescription for Xanax. When you see me on TV, I'm heavily sedated. Yeah, I had to. Like I had major panic attacks.
Wow. So forgive my ignorance on this. How did that go? I know you moved on.
Well, I only went to 2 rounds, and I was grateful that I even got on the show, and I was more grateful that I got off the show. It was a little over 2 months away from my wife and kids, and the adoption process. My kids still have attachment issues, so that was not good. In fact, when I made it on the show after the 2nd audition, before the television, I called my wife. Everybody was hugging and crying in the room in California, and I said, babe, we can't do this. It's months. They never didn't tell us this. They don't tell you anything until you need to know. Yeah. Which is basically right when it's happening. My wife said, my wife, who is very, she doesn't drink. She eats dessert to party. That's her thing. She'll eat some cake. And so she said, you're effing going. My wife does not cuss. She cussed and said, you're going to the show. So, I had no
just
choice.
Being on there.
I had no choice, yeah.
Well, and just being on there, I mean, that's a credit that'll stay with you forever.
It is. Fortunately and unfortunately. It's such a blessing. I learned so much, but it was not what coming up as a kid, I thought, this is not you don't aspire to be on a TV show.
Yeah.
You know, which it was more than it was a music show.
Right.
So, and I was old enough to know that, but it was really hard watching the younger kids kind of get crushed that didn't make it and who had more talent than most people. Like some of these kids can play and sing. Oh, you would not believe what they could do. And the show didn't really show their true talents, I don't feel.
Yeah.
You know, oh, forgive me. Yeah, but you know, so it was a beautiful thing to see all that talent and then kind of join in with them, you know. But it was, yeah.
Well, just keep all this in mind when you're watching reality TV because it's the farthest thing from real.
Yeah,
and,
but the contestants are very real. When they're going up, that's what I discovered as a grumpy old man on the show. Like I think I was the second oldest person to ever be on the show. They kept asking where my child was that I was the guardian of. So that was a lot of fun. Every time they did that, I said, hold on, let's take a picture. And I call my wife. They're doing it again, babe. They think I'm a guardian.
Can I come home?
Yeah, but all the contestants were very real. I mean, it was very intense. So and then after we made it onto the show, they said, okay, each team got to watch their video tape of the whole team now performing of their blind audition, which they don't tell you anything. So when I got to see that, I realized, oh, this is very real. Everyone's in the room like, you know, are they gonna make it? He's sitting right beside me, he made it, like, you know. Yeah. But you're so caught up and it's a very real thing.
Wow,
yes, sir.
Yeah. I know when years ago when I was starting out in comedy, people go, there's all these contests, and I never wanted to do them because I always felt like, you know, when it comes to the one-armed banjo player always wins, you know? I'm just a guy talking. But the songwriting, I can't help but notice on the inside of your right hand, I see a tattoo, luck.
Luck.
There's probably a story behind that.
There is. Tex Earnhardt.
Can you share it with us?
Absolutely. There is. Tex Earnhardt. I did after The Voice. They contacted me, and they said, "Look, it's a big anniversary for Earnhardt and Tex, and he started out in Chandler, and he's one of the biggest things, and he's just such a character. We all know him. That ain't no bull, you know.
Yeah.
I grew up with him, and through the studio that I was working in, he had done commercials for Tex, so he knew Tex, and Earnhardt contacted me and said, look, we know you're a songwriter for being on this show. That's your thing, can you write us a song? And what I do is I do a lot of custom songs for folks, like weddings and stuff, or just someone's, you know, father passed or mother passed, and so I'll interview everybody that knows them, and I write down their story in my words. You know, but I try to do their story in my words, so it's original effort. So I did that with Earnhardt, and I interviewed everybody around Tex, and it was very interesting. Like, the man is loved. The man is a character.
Oh yeah, that.
He is really cool. Like, he's a super interesting character, but he's got all these isms, Tex isms, and the harder you work, the luckier you get. So for me, you know, at around 40, I'm 44, I decided I'm gonna draw on my body, because I'm not gonna have a desk job. Like, it's not gonna happen. I'm very good at digging holes, painting houses, and playing guitar. So I just said, you know, I'm gonna do these things, and why not? You know, and life is very short, and it doesn't hurt, and you know, why not? So just to remind me to get up, work, get up, get out of bed, go to the show, record yesterday we recorded a record, did a video shoot. 10 songs, did a 10-song record live, and also did a photo shoot. So it's just constantly working, and that takes a lot. But, you know, the Tex and the people that I meet, I steal. I steal their ideas.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Well, you know, people always say, boy, I wish I could do what you do.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't know all the behind the scenes, how much work it is. They think you just, you know, you get up at noon, you go into a studio, you create a hit record, and then you go out and lay by the pool in a fur coat.
No, that's 1 day a week. That's 1 day a week. The rest of them you should be working, yeah. 1 day, come on.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
If somebody wants to see you live, are you performing in the Valley in the holiday season?
Yes, absolutely. Everywhere, and I don't know where that is right now. BlaneLong.com, BLAINELONG.
Yeah, you can see it right on the screen.
Hey, there we go.
BlaneLongMusic.com.
Yeah. Well, that's another one. I have a bunch. I don't know what I'm doing. They all connect. They're all digital world. I'm
you know
still
what?
a dinosaur.
When you're really good at what you do, other people will seek you out and find where you are.
Yeah.
And wow, that's such an amazing story. For a lot of the folks here and also watching at home, you're a guy that just realized you have a niche, and besides digging holes and painting houses, you followed your dream.
100%.
Can you share that passion that you have with that with somebody that might be sitting there. I guarantee you there's people right now that have a job they don't like.
Right.
Or they're in a situation with a relationship they don't like.
Right.
Or they don't know what they want to do with their life. Give us, if Blaine Long morphed into Dr. Phil.
Well, you
Which,
see,
by the way, let me see under the hat.
Wait, that's a sweaty hat.
Yeah, there we go. That's right. I figured we were brethren here.
This is my nerve-wracking time when I start sweating and I just got to wear hats and so you don't see. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
and I'm throwing you a
I need more
curveball, but
Xanax,
I think that you're a guy that marched to the beat
Yes.
of your own guitar,
Yeah.
and good for you.
Yeah. It's a tough thing, and I didn't know any other way. I just assumed this is what you did. This is you wanted to do something and you did it. I don't know. Yeah, my advice, if I can use a bunch of cuss words, let me start right now. And no, you have legs. We all have legs. Get up and move. If you don't like where you're at, get up and move. If you don't have money for your next project, sell some things. Work harder. Get another job. Dig a ditch. Paint your buddy's house. I mean, I haven't done that in years, but I'll do it in a second. You know, I mean, if you want to do something, do it. Tell people, this is what I want to do. You're going to find someone that'll help you out or give you some advice or push you. Maybe you'll be at the edge and they'll shove you a little bit. That's my wife a lot of times, you know. Yeah. And sometimes when people tell you not to, that's when you should probably. That's what I've done a lot in my life. Not just to be silly or a rebel, just to go, this doesn't make sense. Everyone's going this way and they're telling me I shouldn't. What's over there? What's over there?
Contrarian, yeah.
Which is very Grant. Grant, why not? That's his thing, why not?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I do that? Why, let's try it. You know, Grant's very open-minded, and along my journey, bumping into Grant and him kind of taking me and saying, you know.
That was not an accident.
No, I owe a lot to Grant. Grant's a very nice dude and a very good man, and you know, he's also very salty.
You know, it makes him that way. He's a Mesa native.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
It's the water in Mesa?
You know what, I couldn't agree with you more, and not to hijack what you're saying, but I meet so many people that are, like you meet somebody that's not where they want to be physically. Mm-hmm. You know, oh man, I can't live without the ocean. I go, well, you live in Des Moines. You know, you may want to go one direction or the other. So follow your dreams and follow your heart.
100%.
Anybody got a question for, when's the last time in 1 hour that you had a Hall of Famer and a Hall of Fame guitar player songwriter right here? Anybody got a question for Mr. Blaine Long?
I'll paint your house if when he needs their house painted.
By the way, I'm going to call Grant and tell him how great you were, and I'm going to tell him I don't think I want to listen to Grant though, because as an attorney, he'd probably bill me by the hour I listen to.
He might, I don't know.
That's awesome. Well, oh wait, I think we have a text here. Maybe I've got a text from from one of my audience members, not from Sally? Okay, I thought maybe Sally had a question. Sally, do you have a question for our special guest?
Yeah. Well, and I owe you an apology. I kind of ran you through the ringer for today, so please forgive me, and I love you and forgive me, and yeah, the flowers are on their way, yeah.
Well, let me tell you, we'd love to have you come back.
Absolutely.
And we owe you something. Our special guest, we always give them a nice little fun little gift. We don't have it today.
Is it the horse?
It's not the horse.
Was it Mike?
That's
Yep.
Keith.
Okay.
No,
That's Mike.
Keith already bought this for $2,500.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
$2,500.
I don't know about that.
He didn't fall out of his chair.
You're very generous.
We're going to give you, from one of our favorite sponsors, Cobblestone Auto Spa. Do you have a car?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
That would have been embarrassing if you said no.
I really don't right now, and if you could... Yes, Earnhardt hooked me up with a truck, yeah.
Oh, really?
I have a beautiful truck from Earnhardt, yeah. You go on their website, check out the song, yeah.
Man, that is nice. We've got a beautiful gift certificate for a detailed job on your Earnhardt truck. We owe it to you. We don't have it today, but we'll get that from Joey. And Sally, can we make that happen?
Yeah.
We'll somehow get that into your hands.
Okay. Or if we could donate it. Someone want $30. Come on, 30. Oh no. Oh, for me. Okay.
It's for you.
I tried.
But nice.
I didn't really want to give it away.
That's awesome. Well, we can't thank you enough. It's always great to have live music, no matter what, but to have somebody of your stature. And like I said, I did a little research on you. Grant said he's great at what he does, but he's a good dude.
Thank you.
So
Thank you, Grant.
thanks for being a good dude.
Thank you so much. I
Ladies and
appreciate it.
gentlemen, Mr. Blaine Long.
Thank you, sir.
Well, we're going to wrap up today. I think we're on time. Yeah, we're going to send you out the door on time. We know you got a busy holiday season. As hectic as it gets between now and Christmas and New Year's, try and remember the reason for the season and celebrate that with your family and your friends and everybody that matters in your life. We'd like to thank all of our sponsors, and we'd also like, it's great to be back at Crescent Crown. And a big round of applause for Crescent Crown Distributing. Quick notice, next month, January's Mesa Morning Live will not be on Friday. It will be Tuesday the 14th. We had a conflict with our scheduling, so Mesa Morning Live, January, will be Tuesday the 14th right here at Crescent Crown Distributing. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure to spend another, we're gonna kick it to Blaine, to spend another year with you guys here. We look forward to continuing on 2020, and let's have a great holiday season. Be safe out there. And once again, we'll finish up with Mr. Blaine Long.
Words can kill, I know. Skin can bruise. Halfway through, now there's nothing left to lose it. Handshake healer, oh, you know, friend of mine. Did my best, yeah, when I tried. Nothing hurts, yeah, nothing gained, yeah. I really don't remember, oh, now anything but pain, yeah. You're a bad luck airplane, I won't fly. I didn't go through years of birth, yeah. It's just a dying night, yeah. Can't tell you anything, yeah. You don't already know it. We grow so fast, man, just to die real slow. I wanna be the apple of your eye. Wanna be the cage that sets you free, yeah, yeah. Well, I promise you never have to try. Just like Tom says, yeah, I'm learning how to fly. Just a little guy, little song.
That's awesome.
Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
Make it a great day. Mr. Blaine Long.